wanted to create a convention that we felt like was truly built from the ground up to be very inclusive of everyone, like make everyone feel like they really belong in the world of fandom, because they do. You know, everybody deserves a seat at the table and deserves to feel comfortable and safe attending events, and not to be shut out of like networking opportunities and fun stuff to do. So that was the original impetus, and it's been so much fun that we keep doing it, just because it's the number of awesome people that we've met along the way, and just how much everyone, including us, looks forward to that weekend in October every year. It's not that big a stretch to say that sometimes people do go and then come out a little bit changed on the other side of it, at least in terms of their new friends and their new thoughts on things, and like rejuvenated inspiration.
I think the conversations is what Jesse means. When you come out of it and you've had all of these amazing conversations that you don't necessarily get to have in everyday life, people who are smart and funny and usually quite goofy, and it's becoming a family.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Spotlight on the Multiverse. I am Joe Compton, and I am excited to have my guest, Learn Track Director himself, Mr. Kenneth Broom. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Good. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself for who don't know you.
Well, I'm Kenneth Broom Jr. I'm originally from Mississippi. I now reside in Southwest Georgia, where I teach college. I am the Learn Track. This is my second year as a Learn Track Director. I started out as Learn Track AD, and now I'm the Learn Track Director. I'm a big nerd at heart. I like fantasy. Horror is my favorite genre. I have been rewatching Tales from the Crypt now that it is available to watch. Nice. But yeah, that's me.
Fun fact about me, I sold a script. My very first script I ever sold was to Tales from the Crypt, and they canceled the show 2 years prior to making my story. So
that sucks.
And that was my first taste of how fucked up Hollywood is as well.
Right.
We got some people here. Anita's here.
Hello.
Anita's here. Just trying to say your hello, all. So take us through the learning curve from year 1 to year 2. What is different for you this year about the Learn Track that you didn't have last year?
I guess the main difference is that Rhonda is not here with us. The previous Learn Track Director who started everything stepped down, and I brought in Theron Wilkerson as my AD. So I think really that's the biggest thing, because when I was AD for Rhonda, I was already kind of learning the ropes then.
Sure.
For the most part, it was an easy transition, and has continued to be an easy transition into this position. So nothing has really changed. And I won't say I have grown. That is the thing. I guess one of the things is I have been better at branching out to get more people in. I'm pretty sure because of current world circumstances, this is our first year not having an international person coming in. But hopefully when things change, we can get some more international people back in. But yeah, it's been pretty easy so far.
Are you excited about the presentations you're going to present this year? Is there things that you're
not presenting this year? And it is a good and bad thing. It's good because we have so many presentations, people that wanted to present that I nor the AD have to present. We just have so many spots already filled.
Yeah.
Well, we have stuff in the back burner.
I didn't mean you personally. I meant other people's presentations. Did you feel like you got a really good group this year?
Oh, absolutely. As always, one of the things I'm most happy about is continuing to have college students present. So as always, I have to thank best friend Marcus Haynes, M. Haynes, the fantasy track director, for helping with that because these are his students. But yeah, like that's probably one of the biggest things. We have somebody presenting on Spider Ham. Want to have a good friend coming in who's going to be presenting on Hoodoo and his representations in the media, and I'm really looking forward to that. Presentations on learning narrative design through TTRPGs, Dracula, lasers from the space shuttle. We have a presentation on that as well. Like we have some great presentations that will be taking place during Multiverse.
For those who are new to Multiverse that are watching this and experiencing Multiverse for the first time, kind of explain what the Learn Track is for us.
So the Learn Track is a mini conference. I'll say it like that. But one of the things that we emphasize with our presenters is that what you are presenting needs to be accessible for other people, for anyone who is not used to going to conferences and who doesn't want to sit through a reading of your conference paper. Like it needs to be accessible to all people. I usually tell people, like, at no point have I ever presented a Multiverse with an actual paper. It's always just been notes about the topic I am talking about. And for the most part, it ends up being me just talking about the scenes that I'm showing. Yeah. So really it's something that we want to be very accessible to our audience. So that's really what it is a conference that hopefully is accessible to everybody.
You got people excited already. Ooh, the Dracula presentation sounds great. Hi, Heather. Nice to see you.
Hello.
And I also think that the Learn Track has a uniqueness that no other convention has, because this is more of it's an intellectual study on topics that have familiarity to people, right? And it's it kind of gives an encompassing look at things through the lens of science and technology and things of that nature. And it's it's an hour of basically learning, right? That's basically the whole idea, right? So
right.
When you're looking at how you manage to put all these things together, right? You've got your papers now. The deadline is passed, right? So nobody can enter anymore, right? You've already got all the slots filled, I would assume.
Oh, I think I went away for a second.
Yeah, sorry. I was saying you have everything. Nobody can present it, and then nobody can submit anymore. You've already got all the slots filled and everything. So give us a sense of how you take that and design it from here, because that's an interesting aspect of it too. Because you don't want to put two vampire things together. You want to kind of spread all that out, right? So
actually, we probably would, depending on how close in topic they are, put the vampire things together, especially if they are, because you can do presentations in 15, 25, and 45-minute slots. So if we have 25 minutes and both of them are about vampires, we likely would go ahead and put those together, unless they are just wildly different from each other. But we tend to try and put things together topically. So I think that topically and on time, because there are some people who want 45-minute slots. So of course you cannot put other things with their 45-minute slot, because the last 15 minutes is question and answer time. So for the most part, theme and time are the way we put things together. And usually the topics are around the same. We try to just put those together. Now, if we have several presentations about vampires, then we probably wouldn't put them like hourly back to back to each other. We probably spread them out But for the most part, yeah, we want to try and put those together thematically.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you have a nice little array of different stuff to a lot of people.
We do.
What was the most interesting fandom that is being discussed here that you think people might be interested in?
There is a presentation about Obsession, and the thing is not about the movie, because this presentation was given to us before the movie came out. So I'm pretty sure the presenter did not know about the movie Obsession coming out, but the presentation itself makes so much sense if they are able to bring in Obsession, because it's about obsession within many different lores, and how that's obsession, that stalking type of thing happens, and how it's presented. And I'm really looking forward to that one as well.
Nice. Wow, that could be a heady subject in a lot of respects.
Right.
And yeah, the movie probably doesn't do it any justice.
It probably does. I haven't seen it yet, but I need to. I have that AMC Plus membership, and I just be squandering it. So I should go and see these movies.
I just saw Backrooms, and I can vouch for that one for sure.
Okay.
Big horror guy, which you are. I know you are. So, but yeah, Backrooms is. I've worked in places like that before, so it's kind of like it was kind of freaky to see that.
Right.
So you're rewatching Tales from the Crypt right now. What other things are you interested in at this moment? What are things that have interest Kenneth Broom? I'm kind of curious right now. I think he froze again.
Okay. That's probably my bad. My internet has been acting funny. But one of the things I've been interested in is I've been watching a lot of old game shows from the 90s, and thinking about how much we learned as kids on shows like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, Where in Time is Carmen, like those old shows, or Guts, Global Guts, when they brought kids from other countries and you got to learn about them. It's like I'm fascinated by the fact that we lost all of that.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's one of the things I've been doing a lot of, is just watching those old shows, Wild and Crazy Kids, Legends of the Hidden Temple, Guts, all those Nickelodeon game shows, like PBS game shows, like all those.
I don't think you could learn much from Double Dare, but that's what I think about.
Double Dare, and do you remember What Would You Do?
Yeah, sure.
With Mark Summers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's like my mom's, like, if you go to my parents' house, she has the Game Show Network on all the time, and they always have like, they have like Password and Super Password on those old 80s shows on. That's pretty interesting. Some people are saying that this is kind of interesting to me. We have a couple people who have said, I want to do the learning track, but I don't think I'm smart enough. But that's not what this is about, though, right?
That is not. You do not have to be you do not have to be a professor or a teacher or anything like that to present in the learn track. You just have to have a topic you want to present on. That's it.
Yeah, and I mean, at Multiverse too, it helps if it's kind of geekdom based in a lot of respects too. So if you have a really passionate geekdom, you could present easily 15 minutes on something like that. I mean, I could talk about my passions for 15 minutes. I don't know anybody who couldn't, right? So
one of our presenters is going to just be talking about podcasts.
Oh, nice.
Because he is a podcaster, so he's going to just talk about podcasting.
That's awesome. Double Dare taught me to always look under the burger top for a
Yes. They never look under the burger top. and or it gets lost under the piece of cheese.
Yeah. Or just be careful when you're moving stuff around, because then you could fling it all the way across the other side of the room. Right? Fact with Ruffman was a good one from the early 2000s. Okay. All right. I learned the best innuendos from Match Game. Yeah. Yeah, man. Those were the days when they were like smoking and drinking on set. Those celebrities. Yeah. It's interesting. Are you? I'm curious how much when you work out these presentations, how much are you taking with you beyond this track? Are you taking some of this stuff and kind of incorporating it into your lesson plans for your future students and nerds out there?
Yeah, I definitely will. A lot of times when people are presenting, I'm taking notes, either because it's a very interesting topic and I want to see what they're talking about, like especially when we did the centers syllabus. I wrote a lot of things down. I did put it in the Discord, everything that was talked about, the different movies, television shows, and books that were brought up, because I thought it was very interesting to have that companion to it. And I thought about doing a centers kind of continuation this year, but I said I'll let it go. But yeah, it was. I tend to bring these things from the learn track into my own classroom a lot of the time. Excuse me.
You know what? Something that is new for you this year, because I did the survey. You do have panels going this year. You have a couple panels that you guys are doing on the learn track. Is that right?
Yeah, we started doing panels during when I was AD.
Okay.
And we did some last year, like the centers. Yeah. We did something last year. Like I said, the centers panel was an actual panel. And then this year we added some more. Actually, those are not all the panels we wanted to put on there, but I decided to cut some since we already had so many actual presentations. We just couldn't fit that because we only do our presentations in the our track before the dinner hour.
Yeah.
So we're done around 5:30.
Yeah.
So we only have about 13 slots. So I was like, we might as well cut some of these off and just stick with this handful right here.
Are you indulging in other panels after your track is done? Are you putting yourself out there to be on panels for other tracks?
I have in the past. This year I've decided not to, so I will just be going to panels after the dinner hour.
Are we going to see you at Monster Mash maybe, or something exciting?
I will see. It just depends on how the schedule falls.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Are you excited about that? Going to other panels and seeing other things and talking about other things?
I'm always excited about that. I get to do it. I do get to do it every year. So I'm always excited to go and sit in other panels and talk to other people. With having Theron as the AD, he said, if you want to go do something else, you can. I'll stay here. I'm like, I'm not gonna just leave you by yourself. It's your first year, so. But I am looking forward to going to other panels to sitting in and learning other things.
This is not an easy thing, being a track director and putting all this together, especially the way what you have to do, where you have to judge other things and bring other things in. Mm. What keeps you coming back? Why do you feel like you want to do this?
It's interesting because
I would hope Vanessa gives you the choice, but
right. I remember when I first met Rhonda. I think it was I want to say it's the second year that I came to Multiverse, and I was like, I was like, this seems so interesting. I would love to be a part of this and do this. And of course, at the time she had a AD. So when the time came that she did need an AD and she brought me in, I was really excited, and I've continued to be excited about doing this. I was apprehensive with Rhonda's exit plan because I was like, hey, I was just AD. How did we get here? but yes, I've been very excited about it, and excited about it. When it rolls around in January, and we start talking, I just enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Are you? I mean, the good thing for you is that you have an early deadline, and then you have to make decisions between you and your AD, I'm sure, and then slot things together. But it must be nice to be able to have all that done right now and not have to worry about it, I would imagine.
Yeah. Actually, our deadline is a month longer than the guest deadline.
Sure. Yeah.
So we did that purposefully because we do have a lot of teachers and professors who will submit. So we give them a little bit of time for school to end to have a moment to kind of think about it and submit something if they want to. So our deadline is, like I said, is about a month longer, but it is easier for us to decide on putting our panels together and who we want or to bring in presentations because we have far fewer than everybody else.
Yeah. Sean says, I think our Learn track is amazing. So
thank you.
All right. So is there other panels you can tell us about right now? Is there something one of the longer ones, maybe one of the 45-minute ones? Can you give us a little taste of what we can expect and plan for?
One of the longer ones, probably. I think the longest one I can remember off the top of my head is the Spider Ham one.
Okay.
And I cannot tell you for sure fully what it's about. I just know it has something to do with Spider-Man, and particularly the Spider Ham character from the Miles Morales universe.
Yeah.
So I was really interested in that because it was called the Spider Ham, and I was like, "Are we really talking about the pig?" I was like, "Okay." But I think that I'm really interested in that one. I'm really interested in the one about Session. We have one that's going to be about canon versus fan fiction and how basically how audiences can co-opt fan fiction to be canon in some way. Talking about representation, like I said, the representation on Hoodoo one is what I'm really interested in, and also I'm always going to be interested in our college student presentations. Last year, we had two sets of presentations from college students, and they did a panel. This year, we're just having the two panel presentations, and we're doing a collaboration with the Play Track. And also we're doing a collaboration with Right Track this year.
Oh, yeah. That's the cool thing is you guys, since we've gotten to Peachtree, you guys have kind of collaborated and done some multiple panels together. I love that idea. With the college presentations, how do they compete for that? How does that happen? Does Marcus choose the two people, or do they is there like a competition? How do the two people get chosen for that?
I think Marcus, and I know you will be interviewing him in a couple of weeks, but I think Marcus decides who he feels would best fit to come into Multiverse, and he chooses those students.
That's a lot of trust, Kenneth. That's a lot of trust.
Look, I have known Marcus since college, 20 plus years at this point, so there's definitely a lot of trust there.
Nice. Well, I think this is one of the most unique things about Multiverse. I think it's really special. It's really amazing, and you do an amazing job at putting this together. And
Oh, thank
we're real
you.
excited that this is going to happen again. As someone who's a part of the adventure here, Multiverse, I think it's just really great. And congratulations, and we'll look forward to seeing the track. Maybe this year I can finally get there and hang out.
Thank you, thank you.
But yeah,
Thank you, sir.
it's amazing, and keep up the good work, my friend.
Thank you. I will. I will.
Kenneth Broom, tell everybody where they can find you outside of here, Kenneth. Where's some place that people can check you out?
The probably the easiest place to find me is one of the things I did not mention at the beginning is that I am an editor for Black Nerd Problems, and I also write sometime on there. So if you go on blacknerdproblems.com, you can find several of the things I've written for them. Probably one of my favorite things is I reviewed episode by episode of American Horror Story Apocalypse. And I really enjoy talking about that. But for the most part, I tend to stay in the background and do things like that.
I read that article. It's very good. Everybody go check that out for sure. Thank you, sir, for being here, and we'll
you're
look
welcome.
forward to seeing you in October. And
Absolutely,
we're gonna step away for just a second and bring back Mr. John G. Hartness, everybody. So hang out, and we're gonna continue the show here just in a moment.
Bye.
Bye. Here's a little bit from our charity for you.
Today, I want to focus on accountability, protection of survivors, and the basic principle that no woman's safety should depend on her immigration status. So I have one question, and I want to ask this question of Dr. Urbina and Ms. Rodriguez. What is one specific action that Congress should take immediately to make sure women can seek safety, health care, and justice without fear of detention, deportation, or retaliation?
You know, first and foremost, you all must pass permanent reforms that will stop ICE and CBP's violent attacks in the streets. I think this includes the passage of the Melt ICE Act, led by you, of course, and Yvette Clarke. And of course, you know, the Stop Shackling and Detaining Pregnant Women Act, the act that Congresswoman Ken Laggert mentioned as well. You know, all of those things are critical right now in order to stymie the attacks that are happening. We also ask that Congress continue to leverage its oversight. As we've all mentioned, the oversight mechanisms that were formerly in place no longer exist. And so there has to be some sort of accountability. And finally, we ask that you exercise your power of the purse by repealing the tens of billions that have been handed to ICE and CBP.
And we're back with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Hartness. Hello, sir. How are you?
Wait, what? Is it? Oh, hey. Hey, buddy. How are you?
Good. How about yourself? How's things going?
I'm doing great because 2 hours ago, you posted on social media that we were doing this tonight, and I was messing around in my office an hour ago and saw that, and I was like, oh, yeah, I have a thing at 8:30. So I'm great.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you made it. I want to kind of get your over. You've been with Multiverse since the beginning, so
everyone
talk a little bit about what it means to you and what this convention is truly about for you, because you are a convention star. You've been on you've been to a lot of these things and done a lot of these things, and you've sponsored a few of them as well. So why put your brand behind Multiverse? What is it that about for you?
So there are a couple of reasons. Obviously, I believe in a lot of the things that the con chairs have always stood for, building a diverse group of guests, making a very welcoming environment for all people, and creating a safe space for nerds of every color, every stripe on the rainbow flag, everything. And it's been fun for me to watch this event grow. year over year. And of course, there have been challenges. Since year 2 of the convention had to go virtual.
Yeah.
The year before a global health crisis and generational trauma inducing event. Not the greatest time to do a convention.
Sure.
But it's been a lot of fun to watch it grow and to see the faces of veteran con-goers, people I've known for years, coming up to me last year and praising the vibes. To see the faces of brand new con-goers who show up and all of a sudden they feel seen, they feel welcomed. I mean, look, you and I are middle-aged white dudes.
Yeah.
I check basically every box on the privilege checklist except Christian.
Yeah.
So,
Same.
but sitting in the privileges that we were born into, it's incumbent upon us to support groups like Multiverse that are working to, and a lot of the stuff I'm saying sounds like cliches, but sometimes cliches happen because they're true.
Yeah.
And Multiverse really does try to build a big tent and show, hello, Daisy. That's my cat's butt. It's not a video call if there's not a cat at some point, right?
Especially Daisy, right?
Yeah. So being able to support an organization that has from the jump, please get your ass out of my face, cat, that has been dedicated to diversity and to creating a safe space for all fandom has been something that I've really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And as far as putting my money where my mouth is, well, I got a whole lot of books to sell, and most places let me have more tables if I make a sponsorship.
Sure. Yeah. I'm curious. This will be our 3rd year in Peachtree, and so I'm looking at, how much input have you had about how the Authors Alley has been set up? Have you been I know you're a very vocal person, and obviously you have a lot of experience in setting up author alleys.
Well, obviously, I have no official leadership position with any convention anywhere.
True.
No, after the first year in Peachtree, I had a conversation with the folks running the con, and I said, guys, you had too many people, and it took away all the money.
Yeah.
Because there's a critical mass in balancing an author's alley to the number of attendees that you have. Because especially for somebody like me, this is what I do.
Yeah.
This is not a side hustle. This is not something I'm doing for funsies. Selling books is how I feed these cats and myself. And obviously, I don't like to miss meals. So when I look at a convention, I'm looking at 3 nights of a hotel, plus food, plus gas, plus inventory. As a general rule, for a 3-day convention, I need to clear $2,000 to break even in gross sales. Unless I'm splitting a hotel room with somebody, or the convention's got me as a guest of honor and my expenses are covered. So if I can't do that consistently, I can't attend the shows.
Yeah.
And one of the mistakes that conventions sometimes make is, because con runners love our guests, and I am also a con runner of a sort, we want to keep our guests happy, and we want to make sure that everybody has opportunities to make money.
Yeah.
But if 10%, if you've got 500 people and 50 people selling books, that 10-to-1 ratio don't work.
Yeah.
It needs to be more like if you've got 1,000 people and you've got 20 people selling books, then people are probably making money.
Yeah.
And I had conversations with the folks running the con and said, hey, can we trim this down a little bit, and maybe some were off kind of down a weird aisle, and like, hey, nobody went down there, so let's kill the tables where people aren't wandering, because buyer behavior is important, because people, when they're going to a panel, aren't stopping to buy a book.
No.
And
or wanting to get bothered by somebody, reaching out to them. Hey, do you like books? Kind of.
Right. And I know you just had Kenneth on, and he was talking about some of the Learn track, and you're going to have other people on as we ramp up to the con, and your viewers will start to see that the programming at Multiverse is incredible.
Yeah.
So people who are going to panels aren't stopping because they really want to go to panels.
Yeah.
So you want your author's alley to be in places that generically have traffic.
Yeah.
And have traffic when people aren't going to a specific destination.
Yeah, and the flow goes toward the money instead of away from the money. In some respects, right? Because last year the flow to the dealer hall was a very, very nicely done run there. I thought that made a lot of sense.
We obviously the convention grew dramatically last year. There was a big upswing in attendance.
Yeah.
Which practically no convention saw in 2025, by the way. We tripled our gross sales from 2024 to 2025. And it made it one of our top 5 shows of the year. And I was thrilled to see it because it meant that I could come back.
I'm wondering, from your perspective, how important the locals are to this equation.
For this convention specifically, and especially given Peachtree City, critically important.
Yeah.
Incredibly important. Because Peachtree City people are used to going to Atlanta for stuff.
Yeah.
Atlanta people ain't going to Peachtree City unless they really, really want to.
Yeah.
I see that here in the Charlotte area too. Rock Hill is a small community about 45 minutes south of Charlotte, and people from Rock Hill, they come to Charlotte for stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody in Charlotte going to Rock Hill unless there's a very specific reason. So for a convention I don't know if you want to call it a bedroom community, a suburb, for a convention that's located there, marketing to the locals is so important.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still not talking about a big convention.
Right.
We get 1,000, 1,500 people through the door in October. It'll be gangbusters. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
So it's not like we have to get every Tom, Dick, and Harry driving a golf cart through Peachtree City.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, come to Multiverse and go out to dinner, and you'll understand that it's about a 1-to-1 golf cart to human ratio in Peachtree City.
They have actual parking spots for the golf cart people there.
Yeah.
It's amazing in some of these places.
So, if 10% of the population within a mile of the hotel shows up, we're blowing the doors off. So it's very important, and I think that was something that the convention staff focused on in 2025 to great success.
I got excited when I read the survey because I immediately knew that you and I were going to be on a panel together this year.
Oh, cool.
Because I have to think you saw the wrestling one and went, I'm in.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And let me tell you, I consult with Con Carolinas, which is my local con here in Charlotte. Yeah. And I kind of work behind the curtain on a lot of different things. I've tried to be on a wrestling panel at Con Carolinas twice now and had to bail because there was some kind of convention emergency that I needed to help deal with. I'm paying attention. I'm just clearing off a spot so the other cat can jump up here because he's sitting down here crying. Come on, buddy. Come on. Oh my God, you're heavy. Jesus, Gandalf. You're such a chunk.
Yeah.
But
Gandalf,
there's my buddy.
Gandalf, you can't take away Gandalf's time period here. So.
Right. Now, good God. I'm putting you on a diet right after I put me on one. And what does he do? He cries to get up here, and what does he do? Immediately jumps down.
Jumps down, yeah.
Kids, man.
You had to see what's going on, right? That's part of it. Right? So.
Kids. Well, I mean, I'm talking, and I spend most of the day not speaking, sitting at this desk, typing on stuff, and there's the occasional profanity as I'm browsing for social media. What does this idiot saying? But anyway.
So, well, hopefully nothing takes you away from this panel. I will be disappointed if you're not there. So.
I will be very disappointed. I mean, the panel selections haven't gone out. I hope that whoever's in charge of it does put me on it. I have almost certainly been a wrestling fan longer than most anyone at the convention because, well, I'm old.
Yeah. I think, you and I, we'll get into the deep 80s of the South and everything like that.
Oh, yeah, son.
So what's going on with Falstaff right now? What are you most excited about to bring to Multiverse? Are you got some things cooking for Multiverse especially?
We're obviously going to have a lot of new releases between now and October. We're plotting out about 2 a month.
Yeah.
So that's what we're shooting for this year, is to be somewhere in the 20 to 25 releases. This week, we're releasing a new period romantasy novella called An Honorable Love by Emily Lavin Leverett. She's a Multiverse guest. I don't know if she's going to be there this year or not, but it's the 4th in her series of Marie de France novellas. And then we'll have the collected edition, probably by Multiverse. We'll have all 4 of them in a nice chonky omnibus. I've been doing some shiny edition stuff. We've got the Quincy Harker Year 1 10th Anniversary Edition with a foiled cover and custom printed end papers and the sewn in bookmark and sprayed, the whole deal, the whole book talk look, man. And I've gotten the release from my other publisher who holds the Black Knight Chronicles, and they've given me permission to do a hardcover special edition of the Black Knight Chronicles books.
Oh, awesome.
So we've got the first 3 of those in a nice chunky hardcover with foiling and sprayed edges and all that jazz too.
Yeah, you have Drew Bailey's series as well.
Drew Bailey's series. We just released the 5th book in that series, and let's see if I can do this without creating too much reflection. I'll tell you whether or not we will have that book. We will have the 6th and final book for Multiverse. When is that supposed to come out? So the 6th and final book in Drew's series is supposed to release a week after Multiverse.
Right.
So there's a chance that we may manipulate some things and have a few copies, kind of a buy it before you're supposed to be able to buy it kind of thing.
He'll be excited about that.
Well, I know I'm saying this on YouTube, so I'm not I'm not telling Drew this yet. None of y'all spoil it. Yeah. And we've got covers to get made before that happens. So
sure.
I'll have a new Quincy Harker novel. It's the 11th book in that series called No Hero. That'll be out by then. We'll have the first ever U.S. release of A.J. Hartley's most autobiographical book or most personal book called Cold Bath Street.
Awesome.
It's a ghost story set in the town he grew up in, Preston, in the north of England. And it's never been... Pardon me, my head exploded. It was originally published by the University of Central Lancashire and has never been published in the U.S. before. So we will have that with us. And it's a great, moody, atmospheric, small town ghost story. And we will have the audiobook available for that as well. recorded by the author.
That's amazing. Awesome. I'm curious where you're ramping up your production this year. How has that been for you? Do you feel like you're starting to see some momentum again? You feel like the business is coming back around a little bit for you? How do you
Actually,
feel about
doing
it?
20 to 25 books is slowing down.
Yeah, true.
At our busiest year, we were doing over 50.
Wow.
And I trimmed that down not because of the economy and the global freaking world-ending
Well, because you
horror
want to
we've
live.
all been. Yeah, because I have books that I have to write. I have a family. I have a wife. I have siblings that I want to see.
Yeah.
I have magic cards that I need to sort. Um,
Yeah.
but yes, I do feel like the business is coming back a bit. We're seeing sales kind of stable from 25 to 26. And last year, the first 3 quarters were in the absolute dumps,
Yeah.
sales wise. And then fourth quarter started to pick up. So hopefully, as we're now moving into third quarter of 26, we'll see things start to pick up a little more as well. If we could get a little overall global stability, I think that would be better.
Yeah. I wouldn't count on that very soon, but
I was able to pay less than $4 a gallon for gas this week, so that was nice.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Also, I think because there's two ways to approach the convention circuit, right? There's the ones that you just sell at, and then there's the ones where there's more of a social aspect to it and a more
Yes.
a networking aspect to it. I mean, Dragon is kind of the best of both worlds in that respect. You got the Fantasy Gather, which you're very prominent at, and you can sell there. And you don't really have you ever done the America's Mart at all? Have you ever tried
The
that?
very first year that they had moved the dealer room to the America's Mart, I joined in with a woman named C.L. Wilson. She does a big booth with about a dozen different writers, and you rent. It's very similar to what Ben Meeks does with his side street
Yeah.
bookshop. You rent a couple of feet of space.
Yeah.
I hated it. I was always running to a panel, running back to the booth. By the time the dealer room closed, I was exhausted. I got no networking done. At Dragon Con, I firmly believe that my long-term money happens on panels and in the bar.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Gather helps a little bit, I would imagine.
The Gather is a swarm of locusts. It's an absolute book feeding frenzy. And don't be standing in front of the doors when it's time to open. So the Gather is fantastic. I have never participated in anything like it.
Yeah. I mentioned the Gather because Multiverse is kind of doing a similar aspecting thing this year to kind of help out those who can't get a table or have one book or something to that effect. Doing a little bit of a author signing book market kind of thing this year. So
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Also, Multiverse does a rotating signing table, which a lot of conventions do.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, and this is something that's important for writers to understand. If you are one person with 1 to 3 books, you are almost never going to make your money back selling at a convention.
Yeah.
Honestly, we have over 300 titles, and what we're looking to do is break even and offset the travel expenses, and then the convention is a marketing avenue. So we want people to see us, think we're fun, think we're funny, and buy stuff when they go home too. So it's very important that people who approach conventions, I do practically none where I'm just vending.
Yeah.
I do some pop-up one-day Comic-Cons because they're local and They comp my space because I've been doing them for years. I did Heroes Con a couple weeks ago, which is massive, but it's local and I'm a guest, so my expenses are dramatically lower. But I'm not traveling to do a big vendor hall con. The long-term money don't work.
That being said, you did do StokerCon this year. That was a travel.
I did. Oh, it was a huge travel, but we knew we were going to lose money doing StokerCon.
Yeah.
We were doing StokerCon to meet people, to take pitches. We're almost certainly going to offer several contracts on books at StokerCon. And this is our second year doing it.
Yeah.
We won't be able to do it next year because we're already booked on 2 events that weekend. But we definitely want to return. And that's one that's as much professional development as anything.
Yeah. I'm wondering for you, what is a goal you haven't achieved yet that you're looking to achieve?
Well, there's goals and there's dreams.
Okay.
Because, of course, I'd love to be a New York Times bestseller. Of course, I'd love to have a TV show made of my work.
Sure.
That's not something I can work towards.
Right.
There's so much of that.
I mean, it is, but it's not something that is easily attainable.
Well, I can't fix. Okay. Yes, I know exactly how to rig it so that I could be a New York Times bestselling author.
Right.
But I don't have the capital to get 50 people to pre-order 20 copies of my book from 100 bookstores across the U.S.
Right.
Those aren't things that I can directly influence.
Sure.
Goals that I think I can do, I want to branch out into different genres. I want to play in different sandboxes. That's the kind of thing. I want to stretch myself as a writer. I want to learn how to write comics. I know I have friends who write comics. I know that I could get them to teach me. It's just a matter of taking the time to learn it. Yeah, I have dreams, like every writer, of, I don't know, being the next John Scalzi or the next Matt Denneman or the next T. Kingfisher or somebody like that. But all I can do is be the first John Hartness, which isn't even actually correct because my father was also John Hartness, but different middle initials. That's why I've always used my middle initial professionally, because my father was John R. And I wanted to make sure that we didn't show up, that I was the one showing up in search engines when people were looking for my stuff, because my dad didn't write.
Yeah.
So yeah, my goals are craft oriented. You know, we're trying to get our YouTube channel up to 7,000 subscribers before Dragon Con. I think that's an achievable goal for us.
Yeah, for sure. I'm in the same boat. So yeah, we're headed toward the same idea. So I love that idea.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Okay. So that being all said, if Tony Khan came to you tomorrow and said, "Hey, I want you to write for AEW," are you in?
Done. Let's go. LFG, baby. Yeah. No, let's go. Except I don't want to write for AEW. I want Ring of Honor.
Ah, yeah. There you go.
I want Ring of Honor.
Give me the next generation.
Give me the AAA team.
Yeah.
Give me those guys. Give me those guys the ones who are either still learning or have done their deal and are giving back. Give me Jay Lethal and Lee Johnson. Give me those guys. Let's play in that. Let me play in that sandbox. You got people
that can a little ragged for a while, right? So.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the thing that appeals to me about those jobs would be the partnerships, like CMLL, and like WWE has a partnership with AAA. I think that would be uniquely a different experience that I think would be interesting too.
Absolutely. The most wrestling I watch on TV right now is the AAA shows on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm way more likely to watch all of that than I am anything that happens in the US.
Well, a little spoiler alert for our show coming up this week on Working the Indies, but I did talk about, I thought that Mask via Mask, Grande Americana was the best match I've seen in probably a decade. So
and the best long-term storytelling I've seen in years. And that's something
two guys that were basically thrown away for this gimmick, and they just decided all of a sudden we're gonna lean into this, and boy did they ever.
Hey, let's take this guy that we've never really known what to do with. We'll put a mask on him, and he can be this joke gimmick. Oh, he's hurt. Well, here, we'll take this other guy we don't know what to do with. We'll put him in this joke gimmick. Oh, look, here's these other two guys that we don't really know how to deal with them either. We'll put them in the, oh, look, it's the hottest thing we've got.
Trust me, Sean, we'll never get to a lot of this, so it's okay that we're talking about it now. between the two of us and then whoever else is on the panel, we'll barely scratch the surface of wrestling in a 45-minute panel. That's for sure.
I mean, I did a whole 40-minute video on my channel on what writers can learn from pro wrestling.
Yeah, nice.
Because it's how I learned to write fight scenes, is by watching old school wrestling matches, because you're telling a story through sport, through combat.
Yeah, through athletic prowess in a lot of respects. You know. All right, I want to show you something, John, and I want to get your reaction to it. This is a video you did. It's been a couple years now.
Oh God.
So I'm curious.
Do I swear a lot in this one, or was
no? Not at all. Not at all. It's about conventions. So let me show this, and I'm going to take us off the screen for just a second here. Well, I'm going to take change the background. But here is.
So all conventions operate on either the 521 rule or the 1-to-5 ratio. Depends on which direction you want to go. Every day, you need minimum of 5 hours of sleep, minimum of 2 meals, and a minimum of 1 shower. 5, 2, 1. Convention.
I stand by every word.
Is that really true for Dragon though? I mean, Dragon's a little different. I mean, no shower thing. Yes, let's say the shower thing should be true for every con, but you know.
No, I get at least 5 hours of sleep at Dragon too.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
That's admirable.
Well, I mean, I have to take drugs every night to be able to sleep more than 4 hours.
Sure.
So I generally get about 5 to 6 hours of sleep. That's what I get. So it's just another night. And you know, if I'm back to my room by 1 or 2, and I'm up at 7 for usually an 8 or 8:30 breakfast meeting, okay, then I've gotten 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours of sleep.
And I think the 2 meal thing to be apropos to your convention going as well, because that is a time when you can network with people and go and have lunch and dinner and breakfast with a lot of people that maybe you don't have time to go hang out with at the convention too.
When I was in college and I was going to my very first theater convention, which was probably the first convention I'd ever gone to, one of my professors pulled me aside and told me something that one of her professors had told her when she was an undergrad. Every morning at a convention, sit down and have breakfast with somebody you don't know. And the more you can do that, the better your professional takeaways from a convention will be.
That is absolutely 100%. I think if you're having a meal alone, that's not a very good convention. I think
it's not a good use of your time.
Yeah.
Because
you can multitask in aspect. Yeah.
You need to be working. Yeah. It's like Glenn Ross, baby. ABC, always be closing.
Yes, sir. Well, I think as always, I'll look forward to seeing you at Dragon, and looking forward to seeing you at Multiverse as we do, and hanging out and talking as we usually do. And
I hope we get a chance to hang out at Dragon. Find me in the app. I don't know where I'll be at any given time.
Well, I'm sure we'll like last year, we'll just sit in FRCon and chat. I'm sure that's how that goes. But I think actually we're on a panel together at Dragon, if I'm not mistaken. So
cool.
That'd be cool. I'm kind of nervous because I think it's you, me, and Denim on a panel. So I'm kind of like, oh gosh.
Is this for the
digital track?
Digital folks?
Yeah.
I heard something that they wanted me and Matt on it. I'm glad you're on there too. I don't have any idea what the panel is.
I have no idea either. I was just told that get ready for it. So that's what I was told. So.
Yeah. I mean, look, last year, me and Dinneman ended up with 300 people singing Wonderwall while we were playing D&D with Matt, Ronnie Verdi, Jody Lynn Nye, and Bill Fawcett. So it won't be as cool as that, but we'll have fun.
Yes, sir. Well, tell everybody where they can find Falstaff Books and everything you're doing, and let everybody know about what you're doing.
We're basically Falstaff Books everywhere. That's FALSTAFF Books. Sometimes there's an underscore, sometimes there's not. We've got a YouTube channel. We've got Facebook groups. Our Facebook group is the Misfit Toys. My Facebook group is John G. Hartness Books. You can follow me on Threads to see what I'm griping about. You can follow us on, again, we're looking to get to 7,000 subscribers on our YouTube. We've got a newsletter, all of the things, just Google Falstaff Books. We have a website that links to all of those things that is, strangely enough, falstaffbooks.com. All the normal stuff.
Thank you, John, for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, brother.
On the other side of we're going to take a tiny little break, and then on the other side, I'll bring in Tiffany to start interviewing some other folks on the other side. So we'll look for everybody. Stick around. Thanks again, John.
Absolutely, brother. Have a good one.
If you've ever felt like you're a misfit in life, if you don't see yourself represented in fiction, if nobody tells your stories, come on, come to the island. You'll probably find a misfit just like you.
Hey.
That is Falstaff Books for y'all. I threw that in there so there's for Mr. Hartness, so you guys can go check that out. The QR code you saw goes directly to the Falstaff website, and I have a QR code at the end of the show as well in the outro. That one goes to his YouTube channel. So go, if you're not subscribed to the Falstaff YouTube channel, definitely do that because that's important, and he's got some really great stuff about writing and just geek stuff that's really awesome. So we really appreciate John and him being a part of the multiverse and doing what he does. And thank you to him. And now I'm going to bring in Miss Tiffany Vega. Hi, Tiffany.
Hello. How are you?
Good. So you ready to do this thing?
I am.
All right. Well, we're going to officially coordinate you by doing this. And when I click, you will have your guest. So it is all yours.
Yay.
Oh.
And so I appear.
You're back again with us.
We're back.
Okay, I am Tiffany Vega. I am going to be the host with Not the Mostest today, and we are here with Jessica. Hi, Jessica. How are you?
Just fine. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So I know that you were with us earlier, so hopefully I'm not repetitive with what Sean asked you earlier in your questions, but we're here talking about Multiverse, and I want to know your first experience with Multiverse. What year was it?
I think it was year one because, and it was John's fault, by the way. He basically said, "Hey, come down and help me move books." because you live in the Atlanta area. I'm like, what is this? He's like, it's Multiverse. Come and help me. And I'm like, okay. So I drove down. I think it was at one of the airport hotels at that point. And so I drove down there and helped him load in books and sat at the Falstaff table and realized that this was just a really freaking cool con and that I wanted to come back forever. It was like the happiest con I'd ever been to. And then the pandemic happened. Can we say that word? I think we can. That thing happened, and so, but yeah, that was my first experience. It's like I'm not quite published yet. I'm hanging out at the Falstaff table. I'm seeing all these kind of cool people, and occasionally going to panels and just hanging out and going. This is like the best convention ever. Wow.
So was there anything like that happened during that first year that made you think like, I have to come back? Was there like a panel? Was there people?
I don't remember. I think it was just mostly people. Everybody was warm and inviting, and just it was so much fun. There was no pressure. You know, you go to some conventions, you go to Dragon Con, and it's like it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. I love Dragon Con, but it's a lot. You come to the end of it, and you're like, I don't know if I want to do this again next year because it's like going through a blender. And then of course you go the next year, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it again. But with Multiverse, it's like you go through the whole weekend, you come to the end, and it's like the end of summer camp. Like, oh my God, you know. And then you're like, when is the application coming out? Because I want to do this again. And so there wasn't one real event. It was just the whole thing. It was like just the happiest convention ever.
So what is the first year that you actually became a guest with Multiverse?
I have to count. I have to stop and think. 2022, 2021. The book came out. 2022, I think. And I've been pretty much guesting ever since. Just kind of crazy now that I think about it.
That's a long time, yeah.
It's a long time. They keep asking me back, and I'm like, okay, I'll come. So yeah, I think since 2022. Last year was the first year I had a table on my own. Usually I'm with what I call the mothership, which is Falstaff. But last year I'm like, maybe it's time for a table. So I tried that, and it was an interesting experience. It was an interesting experience.
Do you want to elaborate on that? Like, was it? I mean,
it was good. It was good. Where I was located was cold, but I get cold really easily. So but no, we had a good time. I was right next to Milton Davis, so it was a good time.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, music, and we had a good time. And would I do it again? Yeah.
Was it more sales based? You would do it again, or just the experience of getting to talk to people and
getting to talk to people? I didn't make bank. Okay. Yeah, you can feel the cold now. Yeah, it seeps through your whole bones, right? I can't say I made like a huge amount of money. I'm not gonna lie. But I networked, and I go primarily because I'm networking and I'm learning, and so that part of it, because I mean I don't make my money back on this particular con, which is not surprising. I don't have a huge catalog yet. John's right. Unless you have a huge catalog, you're not going to make your money back. But there are other things. I go to panels. I'm on panels. but I also go to panels, and so I'm learning, and I'm learning while I'm on panels because I talk to other authors and I'm learning things from them, and just the overall experience. It was worth having the table. Um, and I applied again this year for the table. We'll see what happens.
I've noticed that with when I'm at tables, my my cells kind of come after the panel. When
Yes.
people get home, and
Yeah.
did you notice talking to people that it kind of spiked after the con?
Yeah. Yeah, it spiked a little bit after con. And that was nice. But I did okay. I mean, I'm not complaining because I did better than I thought I would, and that's encouraging.
Yeah,
know?
that's always if
It's
you do better than you
encouraging.
thought you would, that's a plus.
Absolutely, no complaints. No complaints.
So, what has been your favorite moment with Multiverse so far?
Oh, gee. Last year I did karaoke for the first time. Not the first time I've ever done karaoke, but karaoke at Multiverse for the first time. It was so much fun. And it was one of those things where I hadn't done it in a while. So I was kind of nervous because I'm like, I'm out of practice. And I'm going to get, and of course, the demons start talking in your head, going, you're going to get up there and you're not going to have your voice, and you're going to be ridiculous, and people are going to, everybody's going to laugh at you, and it's going to be the end of things, which is not the truth. It was fun. And what was really fun was watching, not just with me, but with other folks singing too, the surprise on people's faces when people would get up and you're like, I can sing too? Really? Like, yeah, we can sing too. Isn't that great? No, it was the best thing. And I mean, and it's funny, and Harkness can say, can, prove this. I don't usually stay up late. Okay. I'm one of those, I'm a weirdo. I'm in bed by about 11 or 12 usually. I stayed up late because I didn't want to leave. It was just so much fun. And once again, that's another thing. If it's there, I'm going to do it again this year. Absolutely.
You did the dance last year too, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah. Which is unusual for me too. And if there's a dance this year, I'm already making plans for what to wear. It will not be that stupid sweater.
I don't remember the sweater, but I do remember you at the dance and karaoke.
Yes.
Now, with the nightlife, do you enjoy doing all the stuff after, like, the con technically closes down? I'm
not really a nightlife person, right? My idea of the nightlife is sitting in the lobby with Harkness, drinking and talking, right? That's passing around the alcohol. That's my idea of nightlife, generally speaking. And that way, if my body decides I've had enough, I can go upstairs and go to sleep. But I'm not going to lie, I enjoy karaoke, and because that's a part of me I don't get to express much. And it's a chance for me to be ridiculous, and people are drunk enough that they don't care if I mess up. So, so yeah, it's kind of fun. I'd forgotten how much fun all of that was. And so I'm like, oh, wait, maybe I can pretend to be 20 just once, and that's okay. But yeah, I also enjoy some of the game stuff that happens after dark. I'm learning that it's okay to stay up late and kind of have some fun with that, and then go pass out.
Yeah, I typically only at conventions stay up till wee hours in the morning, because of the social aspect of it. Do you find that staying up past, like, our bedtime to socialize is a benefit of one of the multiverse?
Yeah.
Networking.
Absolutely. I know, it's one of those things where I'm comfortable enough with everybody, because with Multiverse you kind of get to know everybody. It's the cast of characters doesn't change much, and so you get to see people you don't get to see like all year sometimes. So it's like, oh my God, it's you, and you go and hang out with them, and and then you go have drinks, or you go and sit around, like I said, sit around the lobby and share horror stories, or share happy stories, or share all the things that you missed during the year. And I love that social aspect. Um, it's nice to be surrounded by other writers and other people in that community.
Now, I know you crochet a lot. Have you ever
Yeah.
thought about getting a table to do your crocheting stuff?
To sell it, or to I actually did that last year. I had books and crochet together. Yeah, oftentimes when I'm going to other places, I sell both. Last year I was selling monsters, and if the table thing happens again this year, probably I'll bring some monsters and some little thing, whatever I'm messing with this year, because I've got different things going on. I'll bring some of those things this year, probably.
It tells you how much I got away from my table because I didn't even see that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, and also I usually I donate some crochet to the auction, and also to the storytelling, because they give they give away door prizes at the afternoon storytelling, and the R-rated storytelling, which I don't participate in, because I don't write R-rated stories.
Bedtime
Yeah.
stories does not have to be R-rated.
It doesn't?
It does not. It just, as far as I read my thriller there, and it's not R-rated. It just has to be something that you can act out.
Yeah,
participating in, so you want it to be like an action scene, but does not. A lot of it
have
is
to be
R-rated,
R-rated.
but it does not have to be.
I may have to switch up and do the bedtime stories, and do like something, one of my scary, I could do something from my child vampire story. I could do a fight scene from that. That would be hilarious. But yeah,
I'm
but
a person on bedtime stories. It's so much fun. You'll laugh. Your sides will hurt when you're done.
Oh yeah, the daytime stories are that way too. Oh my gosh, a couple of years ago, because I actually didn't get to participate last year. I was going to, and I had like a mild migraine and had to stay at the table, and I was like, I can't do both. Let me do this. So this year I am going, but the year before, we acted out. There was a scene that was acted out that involved a horse and a few other. Oh my God, it was off chain. I haven't laughed that hard in a while. So yeah, guys, if you have a chance and you're at Multiverse, go to the storytelling. The prizes are awesome, and the acting is just, it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
It's one of my favorite things about Multiverse. Absolutely. Is the storytelling, the bedtime stories. I usually am at panel, so I don't catch the other one. But yeah, usually bedtime stories is the one that I'm at, so I'm there. It's one of the things that, like, on my checklist, I'm like, okay, this I have to do: bedtime stories, Monster Mash, and then what is the one thing that you go to Multiverse and say I have to do?
Story time. Absolutely, story time. It's like the first time I did it, I came out of it going, this is something I'm going to do every year. And unless something terrible happens, I'm going to do it, because I like improv comedy, number one. And this is as close to improv as you're going to get there. Excuse me. And I like laughing like that, and I like seeing other people laugh. And even if it's just, you're reading your story and all, it's fun to see a really funny take on what you've written too, and and to to remind yourself you don't have to take yourself so seriously.
Yes.
Because we get so in our heads sometimes, and just to see it from a different angle, it's like, that really is kind of ridiculously funny, and laugh. So yeah, that's one of those I must do this moments. I really do love that.
It's funny when you're watching somebody read their story and they're talking about hand placement, and you realize that they wrote 3 hands actually in the book. And
Oh, yeah.
It is so funny. I know somebody who uses Barbie dolls to act out their scenes. So
that's brilliant.
Where to place, like hands. It's usually because it's R-rated, but it is. They know where everything's at, so they use a Barbie doll. And I've tried, but my imagination is not that good.
See, now I'm thinking Barbie dolls for fight scenes, and
Joe's.
That might be interesting. Yeah, because I mean, sometimes I have trouble. I actually have to draw maps. It's like, where is everybody? Because I'm getting lost here. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it was very impressive, and I think I would probably rather use like G.I. Joes are smaller and they move a little better than Barbie dolls.
Yeah, I can see that.
For a fight scene, I think I would probably do G.I. Joes. But
I can see that.
That's just, if I ever get to that point where I need it, I've been known to write 3 hands in a scene,
I've not quite done that. I have written. I tend to write splash pages, which, if you read comics, you know what a splash page is. Mm-hmm. Everybody's there fighting all at the same time, and while that works in a comic book, it doesn't work very well in a novel. And I'm learning that. So it's like, I have to pull it back, just pull it back, so yeah.
So what would your advice be to somebody who's coming to Multiverse this year for the first time?
Number 1, bring a jacket for the author's alley because it's chilly down there. Number 2, take a look at the website before you get there, because they offer a lot of stuff. They offer a lot of panels. They offer a lot of opportunity to just do things and plan, because you're going to get down there, and if you're like me, it's like going to the best buffet in the world. You want everything. You want of everything. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to be able to do all that. And even if you're staying down there, you're not going to be able to do everything. So pick and choose carefully. Number 3, come by my table and buy all my things. Now, number 4, come by Tiffany's table and buy all her things.
Please.
Please. But consider what you like the best. What's your main goal? What your main goal is. If you are coming down there to explore writing, then by all means explore the writing track. If you're a gamer, go see Sean's track, because the gaming track is really good. Make sure you schedule some time to. Oh, that's great. That's a great idea. Make sure you schedule in time to eat, hydrate, and schedule time in for fun. And remember, there are things that happen after dark, like we were talking about, that you want to see. There's major silliness that happens after dark. You don't want to miss that. I've heard rumors that there is going to be a Taskmaster game this year. I am beside myself.
I heard that as well, and it was it Jordan Con that I found out about what Taskmaster was. So not even a year of knowing what it is. So
honey, you got to catch up, because season 21 has already ended, and they're already talking about season 22, and I'm like, So
Yeah,
excited.
Joe and Bob and Sean introduced me into the world of the Taskmaster.
I'm telling you, I was reading the questionnaire and that popped up, and I just sat there a minute and went and sort of vibrated a little bit, and then answered the question and then put in the comments. You have no idea how excited I am about this.
So, do you want to tell everybody where they can find you for the rest of the year, your books and everything?
Okay, so you can find me. First, we'll talk about social media. Social media, you can find me on the Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. Instagram, I am Steampunk English. Come see my cats, my crochet, and all the craziness and my adventures. You can find me on the web, Jessica Nettles author. I'm not sure how up to date that website is, but you can read the first chapter of my novel. I am not sure what my next event is yet. There is some speculation that I might be at Reformation Brewery later next month, but we haven't heard back from them yet, so we shall see. My next major con is Dragon Con, but I'm not a guest. I'm just going to be flipping around and saying hey and being on a few panels and generally raising cane. There is an announcement that's going to be made for a super secret project that I'm working on that I can't talk about now. The next book that I'm going to be featured in is something called Southern Monsters. I'm in this anthology with my new story, Opal Shockley, which is Southern Gothic horror, child vampire, witches, and craziness ensues.
I want that one.
I think people are going to enjoy it. We shall see. I had fun writing it anyway. And then after Dragon, in September I should be in Dahlonega, North Georgia Book Fair. I'm excited about that. And then Multiverse, yay!
Yay! That's why we're here, Multiverse.
Yay!
All right. I don't know. Joe usually wraps up about this time. So I'm going to say we're going to move on to our next guest, which is Sean Hillman, and he's the director of the Gaming Track.
Woo.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And now, another reason why, among many, you should be attending Multiverse. Reason 1005, the Gaming Hall. Whether you want to grab a quick game between events or hang out all weekend long, the Multiverse Gaming Hall is the place to be. You get to choose from a selection of the best tabletop strategy and RPG games to check out from the Game Central. You can even purchase games or accessories to use and take home. What you see here on the screen are the type of games, and subject to change and availability, that will be available to play in the Multiverse Game Lounge. And remember, you're welcome to always bring your own. What are you waiting for? Join us today. Go to multiversecon.org and register to become a member of the Multiverse.
Yay! How are you doing, Sean?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Doing all right. And for those of you who don't know, SM Hillman, or Sean, is the director of the Gaming Track at Multiverse, which is one of my favorite tracks that I do not get to spend enough time at. So what is new this year at Multiverse?
So there is one really big new thing. So just real quick though, in gaming, in play, we have the play track, and which is panels, and we have the gaming hall. But this event sort of crosses over with that between the two. So previously, in previous years, we sort of had what we call Friday night firefight, which was kind of a riff on Cyberpunk. Some years it went great, some years it was not great. So we were looking for something specific to do on
Friday nights. And one of my the people who assist me specifically on the panel track, Bessie. Bessie is a big Taskmaster fan and introduced me to Taskmaster, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's okay, I guess. And then I was like, actually, this is kind of cool. Mostly because I identified with Greg, because Greg can be kind of an asshole at times. So, if you are a fan of Taskmaster, or if you are not, but you will be after you see us. We are officially having, I say officially, it's not officially sanctioned or anything, but we are having our own semi-official Multiverse Taskmaster, the first one this year. That's going to be Friday night at 8:30, which we're very excited about. We've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes on this. As some of what you saw on the guest survey, right? We actually workshopped that particular bit of information where we wanted to make sure that people who were coming into Taskmaster knew exactly what they wanted. And to be frank, we wanted people who would be excited about Taskmaster, right? We didn't want anybody just casually showing up. It's like, yeah, I guess I'll play. It's like, no, that's not going to be the vibe you need for this game, right? So I'll be in
you have to know what you're getting into.
Yes, you got to know what you're getting into, because while I won't necessarily be as mean as Greg is to some of his friends, who, a lot of people on the show are his friends, I will, you're going to have to earn your points, right? If you give me a crap painting, I'm going to give you crap points for that. So I will be in the position of the Taskmaster, which is normally done by Greg Davies on the show. And Joe is going to be sitting in the position of Alex. And so I promise I will not call Joe little Joe Compton, but we will still have fun with his relative position in the show.
I'm excited. I can't wait for that. I actually cannot remember if I put on there that I'm interested in it or not. That was so long ago, but I'm pretty sure I did. What other events are you looking forward to on the gaming or play track?
So actually, some really exciting stuff. Something earlier that was talked about. So what we've been trying to do, or let me backtrack a little bit. Initially, the play track, the idea of having panels, is something new that a lot of conventions didn't necessarily do. They had a game room. They didn't have a specific track that talked about play. So that was from the beginning. I was in charge of play, and then over time, I took over both play and the game room. But all along, what we wanted to do is talk about gaming, and a lot of this early stuff was TTRPG related or generic. We actually, our first year we had a Kickstarter panel, and that was actually really good. Since then, we've tried. Every year you try something new. So last year we had a poker panel, and that was very successful. Right, we had a great panelists. We had a lot of good turnout for it. So this year we want to do some more of that stuff and leveraging the idea of gaming into not just board games or stuff you do at a convention, but gaming related things in general. So this year, the wrestling panel, I knew John was going to be there, and I knew Joe was a big fan because he does the wrestling show with Ryan on here on the Go Indiana Network. So I'm like, well, at least I have two people who want to be on this panel and talk about wrestling. I'm in no way an expert on professional wrestling or even amateur wrestling. So that's going to be fantastic. I think that there's a big audience for that out there. Also this year, there are several anniversaries. Zelda, there is 40, I think. Pokemon is 30 or 35 years old. Munchkin, I think, is old as well. Yeah, yes. So we're going to have those gaming anniversaries coming up. And actually, Sonic is also 35 years old this year, which I didn't know and didn't realize.
I felt old.
Same. I remember the first time I played Sonic back in like '92, And I was like, oh, this is great. And this was like my last year of college. I'm like, oh yeah, this is fantastic. um, but yeah, so we're gonna celebrate the anniversaries and hopefully find membership who have that kind of nostalgia, right? We'll tap into that, like, oh yeah, this is a favorite game. But I mean, like with Zelda, every new iteration of the game gets new fans. So there, in theory, could be younger fans out there who are big fans of Zelda. They've played Breath of the Wild or whatever the last one was, then have gone back and played the others. Using the Ocarina of Time to travel to the past. And I think that and also we're going to have a bridge. Street Fighter is a good idea. We're going to have a panel on bridge, and hopefully have a game of bridge as part of the panel. So we'll see how that goes.
So how long? I don't even know how long you've been the gaming track director.
So I was at the original 2019. I was play track director then, and so I've been with it the entire time. And it was, I want to say, like 5 years ago that I took over the game room as well, because the previous game room person had moved on. So I took over that just so we had like someone who could handle both, right, and have a vision for both. I'm fortunate that a friend of mine, Jason, has taken over the game room specifically, and Bessie, of course, helps me out with is sort of my panel track manager. So I've got a little crew, which is nice because I could not do it all on my own, for sure.
Oh yeah, no, it's a lot to, I'm sure, handle.
Yeah.
What made you decide to be part of Multiverse? What was it that drew you in here and said, "Let me be a part of this"?
Well, there were a couple things. The first was I was asked by the previous program manager to come on board because I understood gaming stuff and I guess of the people that he knew, and I was immediately impressed not just with the mission of Multiverse, but the character of Jesse and Allie are great people who've been very kind to me in recent years of a couple of things I've gone through, and were responsive to me when I pointed out something that we were having an issue with. So it's I was invited, but I stayed because I believe in what Multiverse is trying to do, and it gives me a chance to help with that mission. And at the same time, and like I said, and of course, I've been treated very well by the con runners, so that's a good thing too. and a lot of my friends are guests at the con, and a lot of my friends work at the con. As you know, I'm good friends with Vanessa Junta, the programming director. But not just that, like it's like Kenneth, who was on before. I don't know Kenneth very well, but we've worked together now for a few years at Multiverse. And I'm very privileged, honestly, to be part of a team that has brilliant people like Kenneth on it. And that is another reason to stay, right? These are people who I enjoy. I mean, I hate the fact that we only really interact a lot for part of the year, right? And then, of course, that weekend. I would, but these are really fantastic people with a lot of bright ideas, very creative, and I have a great time with them. So that's something else that keeps me on.
So, and it would not be a Multiverse gaming panel if we did not talk about Chuck Tingle.
Yes. So Chuck Tingle, as people may or may not know, he's an author. In public, he wears a paper bag over his face to hide his identity. He writes novels about butt, sex, dinosaurs, just one of many. And years ago, put out a role-playing game. Now, for those who were interested in the nitty-gritty, the Chuck Tingle RPG is sort of a combination of second edition D&D and third edition D&D. But right? I mean, if we were playing it every weekend, I think that would be fine. But this year we're going to do a few changes to make it work better for the convention, right? Because it's usually a case of either deciphering the pre-gens that I made or creating characters from whole cloth, and that eats into a lot of our time. So what we're trying to do this year is we're going to come up with pre-gens, but we're also simplifying the system considerably. In fact, we're sort of converting it over to tell Dr. Tingle that. So it's going to go a lot faster this year. But the crux of it is, since it's an after dark kind of panel, we're allowed to incorporate some of the, frankly, raunchy ideas and material and the zaniness that is Chuck Tingle's writing and vibe, right? It's very much Tingle vibe. The Tingleverse, touches you in all the inappropriate places. And, we tell people that. Like the first year we did it, there was like a 12-year-old in the audience, and eventually his mother took him out. But he seemed to be having a good time while I was there. So yeah, it's not. We don't necessarily filter ourselves in terms of how raunchy or risque we can be. Obviously, we don't cross into outright really bad things.
Yeah, that's a little awkward.
It's a little awkward. We don't just jump into really, we don't cross the lines into really bad stuff. And we try to respect our players' boundaries as well. So far success on that. And as an added bit, I've sort of been modeling a lot of the themes after the Stephen King's. Oh, hold on, we gotta put it. Joe, you gonna put up Stephen's picture for us? Stephen King's. There we go. Gunslinger series, the Dark Tower books. So, but we've gotten to. I think we've gotten to like the Wolves of Kala, and I'm like the Wolves of Potato, the Potatoes of Kala. I don't know how to work that in. And the Wolves of Kala is such a huge book anyway. So the theme will be a slightly different, but you're still going to defeat the Potato Queen because we haven't managed to defeat her yet. Much like the series, it just goes on and on and on with our fight. So
the very first time I went to Multiverse and saw Chuck Tingle's, I want to say it was Nicole maybe dressed up like the unicorn and played in a unicorn outfit. That was like 3 years ago.
So that Nicole was in the shark.
Oh, the shark.
Okay. Right, and Judy Black was in the uniform.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That was my first experience with Chuck Tingles, and it was hilarious. I laughed.
It was hilarious.
There's just so much to do that I have to pick and choose between, and I missed Chuck Tingles last year.
But. And it is that, and that does stink, I guess, for people because there's only so much time, and there's only so much time for the after dark kind of things, right? Because one, people do want to go enjoy the con, and two, like usually there's Monster Mash or something else going on at the same time, right? It's like, oh, you got to pick and choose, which we hope is a good problem to have for people that have to choose between Chuck Tingle and Monster Mash and some of the other great after dark panel stuff. Which you can go to the Multiverse just for the After Dark panels, and I think you'd find yourself you'd have yourself a good time.
Yes, definitely. There's just so much going on, and then because of Chuck Tingles, the whole potato thing, right, became a thing. Like the unofficial mascot of Multiverse is a potato.
yes, it is. And so that didn't necessarily start with us and on play, but it started. And I was the very, very first, like way back at the in 2020 when we had the multi-virtual convention. One of the things that we did was we did a virtual D&D game, and that was when the first. So it wasn't Chuck Tingle yet. Okay. But that was when the Potato Queen first arrived and her very like high CR mashed potato creatures, which were a lot of fun to create and attack the players with.
Now, what game do you want to see come to Multiverse that you have not? I mean, obviously, you have something to do with Taskmaster this year. Is there another game or like series that you would like to see come to Multiverse?
Oh, that's a great question. We've tried to have some like kill teams of the Warhammer 40K stuff. I still would love to see some old school space, like pushing counters, pushing minis around the thing, go pew pew, space pew pew tournament kind of stuff. But that's a harder sell at conventions, right? That's a very specific crowd, and they're not necessarily coming to our very forward-thinking, progressive convention all the time, right? Look, there's some people who absolutely who are into that kind of thing, who absolutely share our values. They aren't necessarily coming to our convention. So I think what I would like to see is like something like else like Taskmaster, which could engage, we're hoping to engage our guests and find their funny side, right? And so something where we can engage their guests, which is what's most important, right?
Right.
In something that takes their talents or their sensibilities, right, and showcases it to the membership. So we're definitely going to be on the lookout for that. If people have suggestions, please. Match game is not a bad idea. Okay, so I'll grab a couple of comments here. No, maybe we have not done that, but we will have, I do believe, I'm 99% sure, Charlotte Gamers will be back this year. And I really want to talk about them because they brought an extra element with their consoles last year and some of the stuff they're doing, and hopefully we'll be doing more this year. But they were teaching people Magic the Gathering, and I think even a Commanders match broke out last year for Magic. So if we aren't full-on Magic tournament this year, I suspect that's coming in the future, right? That's something you'll eventually see in the future.
That would be for those who love Magic.
Yeah, I mean, Magic is honestly, of all the Hasbro properties, right? It's actually easier to get people to come to play Magic than it is to come play D&D, and that's okay, right? I mean, I'm an RPG guy at heart, but I'm happy that the Magic people, come please by the thousands, come to Multiverse, and I don't know if Jesse and Allie wanted by the thousands, but tell them I said it was okay. By the thousands,
I'm sure they won't care the extra money, right?
Right, exactly. We'll find a way to train you in and see you play Magic. Yeah, like, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if everything was filled with people playing Magic, I wouldn't be heartbroken. But yeah, so Magic game, I think Jessica's idea, interesting, right? That I will pass that around. That might be something to do because I know other conventions, Jordan Comic has a speed friending, which has been very popular.
Match game with the crowd would be funny, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure agreeing on that. That's something I hadn't considered. So maybe match game is coming to a Multiverse near you. But assuming that Taskmaster does well this year, and I hope it does, that would be something that we're going to be doing every year.
Yeah, and that I love seeing the game track grow and the play track grow. My first year with Multiverse, I did quite a few of the play track panels, and I loved it. Last year, I don't think I was on any, which was really, really sad, but I do believe that I put a couple interested in my survey this year. So, and of course, one of them is the wrestling, because I'm a huge wrestling fan, and I was so excited to see that coming. Is there any other panels that you would like to put on that are, I don't want to say like niche, but are ones that are part of the play track that you maybe thought weren't as popular as, like wrestling, you don't think about wrestling, but is there another panel like wrestling that you would like to add eventually to the play track or see if there's interest in it?
We're also doing are we doing extreme? I think we're doing like extreme. Oh no, we're esports. We have an esports panel this year, which I think for me is interesting. We'll see if for other people it is as well. But so that's a great point. So I would love to, like last year we dabbled a little bit in sports for like what's your favorite sport. I know we have a few racing fans as well among the membership and guests. So I would love to tap into that, right? Because honestly, as the pro flies, there's a NASCAR track that's been closed down actually a few years ago. Not that far from Peachtree City. And somebody can correct me, but I think it is officially off the race now. So that I think racing fans, yeah, it's right. Racing fans in the South, absolutely. So I think that's something, right? That could be something that interests, Joe and I believe John talked about having people coming from the local area. That might be something that brings in locals, right? Oh, they're going to have a NASCAR panel.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to have a Formula One panel. That might be something that where we can tap into the local Peachtree City people and have them come in and see what goes. So things like that, right? Finding interests that are gaming related, and that will engage, new interests in multiverse. People who may not even know they want to come to multiverse, and they see that panel like, okay, yeah, I want to come here.
All I think about when we talk about racing is Hot Wheels on a track going around and around. That is my extent of racing.
Well, if I had the space here in my apartment, so when we were young, we had a train track, but it was a really nice train track, and it was a train where you could put the stuff in and it would blow smoke. It didn't work all the time, but it worked enough of the time that we really loved it. But my brother and I, actually, I guess my sister too, we and my father got us those cars that the control cars that would go around the track and stuff. I love that. And if I had the space, when I do have the space, I probably will set one of those up because they are just a lot of fun to do. And so, but another thing too is the kind of electro football, right? You put your guys on the electric metal field, and you turn it on, and your guy with the ball, he goes as far as he can before another little guy touches him. There are some. That's a deep cut, but it's a lot of fun.
I've never seen that.
Oh God, I will get you a video for that too. You can take a look at that.
Send me a video because that sounds entertaining.
So yeah, I'd love to do, but all those niche things like you're just talking about have an opportunity. And not all of them will be successful. That's okay. But I think that once people see that we're reaching out to different, niche ideas and gaming, that will encourage more people to come to gaming track. I mean, please go to the other tracks too. I'm not trying to monopolize everybody's time, but obviously, we want to make your experience a fun one.
It works half the
yes.
time. It works every time.
Pretty much, yeah. That is exactly it. So we obviously we also want to be a track to see our people in butts and seats and participating. So.
And you do have a gaming room where people can just sit down and I don't want to say relax, but they can come in, play games. This is my first time seeing that area was last year.
Right.
What kind of you just have all kinds of sort of board games for people to play, card games. Is there any games that you're interested in playing for yourself this year that you have?
Oh gosh, it was on fire last year. Yeah. So Sean's favorite board game is something that's old and maybe not. I don't know if it's ever as popular as I hoped it would be. I would love to play Risk, but Risk is not what I'm talking about. I'd love to play a weekend Diplomacy. Diplomacy is a game where it's prior to World War I. You're the powers in Europe, and I get all that. Plus the Ottomans and the Russians, and there's no dice involved in diplomacy. It's all about moving your fleets and armies and making alliances and breaking alliances. It's all about realpolitik, and it's a lot of fun, and it ends friendships because inevitably, oh, fantastic! I love to hear that. Inevitably, somebody gets betrayed, right? It's like, oh, my friend Tiffany will back me the whole way, and suddenly Tiffany is, armies and fleet are just took your capital, and you're like, what? So. So those that I would love to get in a game of diplomacy on the weekend because that's something that could go all weekend, sort of nonstop. Other games like some of the classics, like we don't have a copy of Twilight Imperium, but if I can get a copy of Twilight Imperium, it will be there. Something like Agricola, which is as a lot. I believe Agricola is a Euro game, so might correct me if it's not. But Agricola, is actually how you say it. So more Euro games and things like that. Right? Yeah, it's very hard to be Switzerland. Yes, right. Yep, that's another good one. So stuff like that, stuff that's sort of that Euro game. They're a lot of fun, and they're a good 2 hours. Spend 2 hours, and they're not that complicated, right? So I think that's stuff I would like to play for sure.
Risk has been one of my favorite games forever, but my most favorite game in the whole wide world is called Heroes Quest, and I used to have it when I was a kid or a young adult, whatever. And I think me and my brother probably fought over that game a few times.
Probably so. So there's a new version of Hero Quest, and if I can find a copy, I will bring it. And I will happily run you guys, or one of you can run us all through some Hero Quest. But now that I see that Jessica, what's this now?
We're going to have to do a night of Risk. I see that in our future.
Yeah, like maybe Thursday night Risk game might be a thing.
That's perfect. Yeah.
So yeah, we do have a copy of Risk among the games, so we'll definitely bring those. We'll definitely break that out. And my brother and I never won, and I was always a real jerk about it, losing. But that old style battleship, we actually had the old battleship, like the plastic ones, and then we had electronic battleship, which was very fancy. And Stratego, I'd love to get a game of Stratego with someone. I should probably mention that Ray Nichols and I, over a few cons, I don't know if we've done it at Multiverse yet, both big fans of Carcassonne. I love Carcassonne as well. So maybe we can get a Carcassonne game going as well. So those are the kind of things I like. At heart, though, I'm a space pew, push your ships around, shoot the Klingons kind of guy. I don't know how many of those games are feasible to find people who play that at the con, but that's okay.
It just, there's so much going on, and you have to, if you pick one game for the weekend and play that you feel like you're kind of satisfied, but I wish I could have a day dedicated just to the gaming track. That would be ideal. We need 5 days in the 3-day weekend. So we
do.
Want to get done.
Right, and if we didn't have such great After Dark
programming
content, programs, right? Then it's like, that'd be perfect time to go play those games. But we are starting to get a dedicated crew of people who come and spend a lot of time in the game right now. And so I think that again, that's the direction that we want to go.
And then I'll just ask you one last thing before I have you tell people where they can find you. Do you find it hard being a writer and doing the gaming track? Do you split time, or are you just the gaming track person while you're there?
So my convention, especially at the moment, although that hopefully will change soon. But so my convention appearances are limited, right? They always have been, right? They're a little bit more limited now. Folks who know that about the invitation. But yes, there's an element every time you go to a convention and you're working. And I think John alluded to this a little bit. When you're working at the convention, that's my focus, right? I'm not there to do anything but work at the convention. Yes, obviously, I want to socialize with all my friends, and that's why I don't necessarily get 5 hours of sleep. I get 4 or 3 hours of sleep, because for me, it's important to get that socialization time in with people. It wouldn't be worth it to me if I was there with strangers or people who I couldn't crack a beer with or talk treason with after midnight, right? It just wouldn't be worth it for me. So yeah, I would say it's not a frustration. I mean, I know full well what I'm getting into, and we have opportunities to put our books. Even people who work there to put our books up, and friends have said, "Hey, I've got table space for you if you want it." So I probably will take advantage of that this year at Multiverse. In fact, I need to write myself a note about that. But at the same time, it's also been an opportunity for me to be on different panels, like writing panels, and different tracks, and
During the book fair.
yeah, right, during the book fair, right. And so I have had the opportunity to lend my expertise, such as it is, to other tracks, and that has been very rewarding. So I do occasionally get to wear my writer's hat at Multiverse.
Well, that's good to know, because I mean, it would be hard for me just to choose one thing and stay, because I multifaceted. But that will come to a close. Why don't you tell us where they can find you and where we can find your writing and anything you want us to know?
So right now, my website is Oars to Combat for a little while, but I'm working on it behind the scenes, so I'll have that back soon. You can find me on Substack, Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky under SM Hillman. It should be pretty easy enough to find. You can obviously find me at Multiverse, running the play track and game room. You can find me at JordanCon, which was just passed, as the sci-fi track director there. And I'm pretty much SM Hillman everywhere. Feel free to reach out if you have questions. Subscribe to my Substack if you want to. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. Oh, and if you want my book, my collection of short stories, that's The Language of Skeptics, which came out in 2023. Geez, I am old. 2023. So it's been out 3 years now, and that's on Amazon. And my newest collection will be out this summer. Don't know exactly when. The Orb Weaver, which will actually have more stories in it than Language of Skeptics did. And that will be out this summer, which is, again, a collection of short stories. Most of them were rejects, not all of them. Some of them are original stories as well.
Well, their loss, our gain.
Right. Yeah. That's the way I think about it.
And you can find him here on Go Indie Now, like all the time. So you can check out Zero Exposition and Zero Means You're Dead and all kinds of, I can't think of the rest of the names right off the top of my head.
That's okay. Something new, How I Needs Roll. We'll probably be doing that on Thursday. So, that'll be that. One version of that will be live. So you can check that out for everything on Thursday.
Awesome. And I have been your host, Tiffany Vega. You can find all my information at outsiderpublishingcompany.com. We do have a couple of new releases if you want to go check out, and we have a couple more coming out in July. But it's that time to say those magic words. Thank you guys for coming, and it is always time to go indie now.